I think the only person you can bet on beating Topuria is Islam Makhachev at the moment. And people are going to come at me and be like, Alex Pereira or whatever bullshit. I'm talking about like realistic opponents. If he moves up a weight class or moves down a weight class,
Yeah.
I think Islam Makhachev is the only person you can make like a solid argument that is going to beat Topuria. Everyone else is either Topuria wins or it's like very 50-50, you know? So I think Topuria is him. I think he's the next big star in the UFC, and I think it's the star that UFC needed, because a lot of people are getting bored with you have Pantoja at flyweight, boring. Dvalishvili at bantamweight, who might be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov, boring. Bilal Muhammad, boring. DDP, most people say boring. I actually enjoy watching DDP fight.
DDP is
But
super exciting. His fights are never
yeah,
boring, in my opinion.
yeah. The reason I say that's the fight to be made is because I think the real fight to be made long term for the UFC is Topuria versus Makhachev, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
But I think that Topuria needs to beat a couple more guys in the featherweight division.
Yeah.
And if you make him fight Volk again, you're just delaying that Makhachev fight, you know?
Here's the thing about that is like Makhachev is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world right now. And
Yeah.
he is also himself trying to move up and do double champ status. Like he wants to move up to welterweight and try to become a
But
double
he
champ.
can't unless Bilal loses, right?
Right, correct, exactly, because he won't fight Bilal. So if Shavkat wins, then we might see that. Then that fight probably doesn't happen. I don't know. Maybe it does happen. Like I will say this: if there's two fighters right now that could be like fighting for double champ status, Topuria and Makhachev make a lot of sense. Topuria does
Yeah.
have to win a couple more fights, but I agree with you there. And that would be an insane fight. That would be just like a
Insane.
massive.
And I think they want to rush it. I saw this thing that the whole like I forget Khabib's dad's name, but he like the one that orchestrated all
Yeah.
of these Dagestani fighters, and
Right.
his whole thing was at 33 you retire because that's the end of your prime. And Makhachev, I think, is 33 right now, but he's still he has personally said, until I feel like I'm declining, I'm not going to retire. But it's like, how many more years do you have? You know,
Yeah.
is he going to start declining at 35? Is that the end of it? And then it's like, okay, well, like, if you need support to beat 2 or 3 more guys before you get in the Makhachev fight, that's already a year and a half gone, right? So
Time is a ticking. And I will say this: if Ilia Topuria beats Islam Makhachev, I mean, he's probably the next Conor McGregor. It'd be like the biggest win, like to beat a
oh my
Makhachev.
god,
It would be
if
massive. It would be so massive.
if Topuria beats Makhachev, there's the argument for him to be the all-time GOAT, I think.
It depends on how many
Beating
wins it is, but yeah, I mean, it would be up there. I mean, it would be all-time status for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're talking about, let's say, 2 more fights that makes him 18-0. Makhachev makes him 19-0, and beating Makhachev, Volk, and Holloway. That's a pretty incredible resume that not many people can put up with. And
Yeah.
knocking out 2 of them,
And then
potentially third, who knows?
they eventually make that long-awaited fight between Topuria and Paddy Pimblett, the one that they've been wanting to make forever.
Fucking hell.